Hello, this is Robyn Unfred. I look a little different to you now because I'm using my VTuber setup from my Twitch stream to record this since I have it all set up. This is my final project, Feed the Sharkie game app. Let me show you around. Okay, we've got some components here. A bunch of labels and a reset button here. This is the canvas where the game is played. A shark sprite, which starts off invisible. Should look like this. Game over sprite also starts off as invisible. You have some decorative image and text down here, then a shark timer and a game timer, and a Jaws sound effect. I'll show you what the timers do when we get to the blocks. Okay, so it starts off by initializing both the score and the top score to 0. We have a procedure for starting the game, a procedure for ending the game. Starting the game makes the game over sprite invisible if it isn't already, turns on both of the timers, and sets the shark sprite to visible as well. The end game does the exact opposite of that. We have an update score. We have an update score procedure and an update top score procedure. Update score, we're setting the score elsewhere. This reflects it on the screen. Update top score compares the score to the top score. If the current score is higher, then it changes the top score to the current score, and it reflects that on the label. Move shark randomly moves it around the canvas, just like in the Mole Mash app. In fact, this is one of the blocks of code that's pretty much copied from it. I recreated Mole Mash from scratch before adding and changing things. The reset button, it sets the score back to 0 and it calls update score and start game to reflect the score and do everything else to start the game over. The shark timer just moves the shark. The game timer calls end game because that's the only job is to end the game. That's why there are 2 timers, so I don't have to keep track of the game duration dynamically. When the shark sprite is touched, it changes the global score to +1. It places a sound effect, updates the score on the screen, moves the shark, and then turns the shark timer off and turns it on again, which is how you reset it in code blocks. I had to look that up. Okay, as for problems, we have a... I am not sure whether I've quashed it. We had a bug that the top score was not showing correctly. If you play multiple games in a row, you may see a bug occur. Any others? Let's see. The game over sprite does not appear centered on the phone. I couldn't figure out how to center it compared to the width of the screen. That is something I would like to fix. As far as overflow, I would like to make it so that you feed the shark different colored fish. You tap on a colored fish from your bucket, and then you tap on the matching shark. That would also require to have multiple shark sprites, and I'm not sure whether that is feasible given the limitations of the app inventor. I haven't completely determined that yet, but that is something that I would do if I were to continue working on the overflow. I could also, of course, continue testing for bugs and look for more efficient ways to do things. A title screen would have been nice. Did not do that, and also it only says reset. It might be good to have it saying new game instead of reset. Other than that, okay, it's been a pleasure learning with you and under you, and I look forward to seeing you in other classes in the future. Good luck with your finals, everybody.